And here we are,
Momo said happily as she led you into Jiro's dressing room, backstage at the ongoing concert hall.
I'll be more than eager to hear of her reaction to you surprising her in her dressing room.
Momo goes on to explain.
Thanks, Momo. I definitely owe you one for this,
you said, looking across Jiro's messy dressing room with various costumes and makeup supplies littering the ground along with empty snack and beverage containers.
It's no problem, traveler. I know how close you two are, and I couldn't just not help you,
Momo said with a smile as she turned to leave, not before turning back around as if she just remembered something. She then pointed to a small TV in the corner of the room.
I think that TV might have a view of the concert. You might be able to catch her last few songs before the show ends.
You smiled at Momo's gesture.
Thanks again, Momo. I'll definitely check it out.
You both gave your goodbyes to each other for the time being as you turned back towards the TV.
Let's see what this puppy can do,
you said, mostly to yourself as you grabbed a nearby remote and flicked on the TV. The moment you flicked it on, you were greeted with the entire screen full of static as the recognizable sound of Jiro's guitar and her voice sung one of her emotional songs, making you smile as a red blush grew across your face. God, you loved her. The screen's static slowly faded away, revealing Jiro on center stage, as you could instantly tell with how she kept her eyes closed. She played and sung, that she had her entire concentration into what she was doing.
Even now, you're still the best at what you do,
you said through the screen before you turned around from it and looked at her vanity. You saw more various makeup pieces strewn about until your eyes caught onto something. On her desk was a small figure of her favorite musical hero you made for her a few days after her performance at UA's school festival. It wasn't exactly eye candy, with its wooden features seemingly hastily painted on along with its miniature guitar being bent to the side ever so slightly. You didn't expect her to keep it, or anything like that. You thought that she just placed it in a box and filed it away with other past memories ever since you both graduated from UA.
I can't believe you kept it,
you muttered to yourself as a small smile grew on your face. Your attention was quickly drawn away from the figure as you heard the concert crowd cheer at the end of Jiro's latest song.
Thanks, guys. You've all been great.
She thanked the crowd as she quickly took a drink out of a nearby water bottle handed to her by one of her bandmates.
So great, in fact, that I think you all deserve one more song. How's that sound?
She asked the crowd, gaining a mountain of cheering in response.
Alright, but before we move on to the final song for the night, I'd like to dedicate this one to someone very special to me. Someone who couldn't be here tonight, but I'm sure as hell is watching right now. This one goes out to you, babe.
Jiro finished as her band kicks into next gear, moving into a faster-paced song with her beginning to rip on her guitar. You placed a hand over your heart as your cheeks lit up red with her sudden gesture of affection. Going through UA together, Jiro might come off as somewhat blunt or one of those too cool for school types, but after you two had started hanging out more, which led to you starting to date, you quickly learned much more about her softer side, while also learning how much of a badass she was. But now here you were, waiting to surprise your girlfriend in her dressing room after you said you wouldn't be able to be with her during her concert. At first that was true that you weren't able to come see her play, but after Momo pulled some strings, you ended up in a limousine heading straight for the biggest stadium in all of Japan.
Jiro and I will have to go all out for Momo's birthday this year,
you thought to yourself with a chuckle as you flopped down on a nearby beanbag facing the TV.
Maybe Shoto would know something. Pretty sure all the rich people communicate via telepathy,
you thought to yourself as you smiled at your own joke.
That's an issue for future me,
you once again thought to yourself as you leaned back in the beanbag and closed your eyes, listening to Jiro rip and tear on her guitar. But just as you were getting into Jiro's solo, the sound of the TV slowly started to fade, causing you to lean up from the beanbag. Instead of Jiro's concert, the screen showed what seemed to be a night view of a hospital in the middle of some forest.
What the fuck?
You muttered to yourself at the strange sight. Slowly, the camera panned over to a nearby sign which read, Jaku General Hospital, followed by the screen quickly turning to black, followed by red text which then said,
Familiar place?
The TV was once again overtaken by static, as it slowly grew louder and louder. It turned so loud to the point where you collapsed to your knees and covered your ears in pain. But just as the static was becoming unbearable, you felt you were just about to go deaf. Without you somehow knowing, the TV turned back to the concert, where Jiro continued to play her solo.
The fuck was that?
You yelled, alarmed and confused at whatever the hell just happened. You then quickly checked the TV screen to see if anyone at the concert had noticed anything, only to find that everything seemed normal, with Jiro simply continuing to play her guitar. You poked your head out of the dressing room to see if anyone else backstage had noticed anything, only to find that, like the concert, everything seemed to be okay, with various crew members either running around and making sure that everything was running fine, or just simply sitting back and relaxing.
Okay. Was I the only one who saw that?
You turned back towards the dressing room and took a nearby seat while you pondered what you just saw. Suddenly you thought of the best way to tell if anyone else had seen what you saw moments ago.
Social media!
You flipped open your phone and went to all the hashtags related to either Jiro or the concert, only to strangely find that nobody else had seemingly witnessed what just happened. Worst of all, as you continue to scroll through countless posts complimenting Jiro's performance or posts sharing their favorite parts of the show, the events of what just happened began to fade from your head. It wasn't the type of memory loss when you lost track of whatever you were doing, or just losing your train of thought. It was almost as if the memories themselves were being manually removed from your brain. In the end, you couldn't even remember why you were even on social media in the first place. You couldn't remember why you had so much dread built up inside you. Your thoughts were torn away from your phone, and why you were on social media, as you quickly heard what sounded like cheering coming from the TV. You whirled around to witness Jiro had finished up her final song.
Thank you! You've all been fantastic tonight!
Shit! Did I miss the final song?
You asked aloud as you ran over to the TV.
Can't help it now, I guess.
You flicked the TV off and prepared whatever position you wanted to be in when Jiro arrived. Soon you heard what sounded like a series of feet approaching closer, along with the sound of a group of people asking questions and talking to who you presumed to be Jiro. Through the crowd, you heard Jiro speak over everybody.
Alright, look, I'm sweaty, I'm tired, and my voice hurts. Tell him that I'll deal with that shit on Monday, alright?
She said firmly, as you quickly noticed the door handle begin to move by who you assumed to be Jiro, only for her to be stopped by another assistant.
Miss Jiro, Miss Yoruzu wanted me to tell you that she got you a gift and has put it in your dressing room.
The assistant spoke half urgently and half casually.
Momo? I keep telling her if she keeps outdoing herself, she'll have to buy me the damn moon.
Jiro's trail of speech fell as she opened the door, only to spot you looking back at her, standing with one foot on a chair and eyeing her as if you were posing for a painting.
How you doing, Mozart?
You spoke with a smug grin, as Jiro's face quickly formed a smile of her own. She ran over to you, to which you both embraced each other.
Babe!
She yelled out happily, spinning you around, still hugging into each other, with the assistant letting herself out.
I thought you were on the other side of the country. Well, you know how it goes. Momo ended up pulling some strings in my job, apparently, to which I ended up here under direct orders from my boss.
You explained, causing Jiro to be taken aback.
She can do that?
She asked, while having a mixture of surprise, horror, and happiness laced in her expression.
I was just as surprised as you were.
You replied before sweeping her off her feet. You launched into a series of kisses on her forehead, causing her to bury her face in your neck and giggle.
Seems you missed me as much as I missed you.
She spoke with a smile as you continued to hug and kiss her.
Sorry for being all sweaty and disgusting, though.
You could be covered in sewerage and blood, and I would still want to kiss you.
You spoke sweetly, causing Jiro to bury herself deeper in your arms.
Thanks, babe.
Least I can do, ma'am. You stuck by me when the whole hero thing didn't work out for me, and I stick by you until the sun turns cold.
You explained, causing Jiro's grip to tighten onto you.
Wanna go home and watch some old horror movies and eat nachos?
She asked, turning her head to face you.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
You replied as you both slowly separated from each other.
Then, after that, we'll have to take a shower together. This time, not over video call.
That was your idea, just so you know,
Jiro said with a smirk as you both began to pack up her things.
Although, I do admit, it's not as good as the real thing.
Just as the two of you were about to leave the dressing room, you turned towards Jiro.
You should call the squad, see if they want to hang out this weekend.
She smiled and wrapped a hand in yours, pulling you in for another kiss.
I'll do that tomorrow. I just want this night to be about you and me.